and welcome to Transition Week 2. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lizabeth, and I've been living in the light by documenting my 160-pound weight loss, and now I am living healthy in the light and maintaining that weight loss since September 25th of 2023. This week I wanted to share with you how to go through the second week of transition. If you want to know how to do the first week of transition, you can check that out up here or over here, wherever the little card is that I will put up there to link back to that particular week. And that will explain to you how to do the first week of transition. I did want to clarify something with that in particular, because I'm going to talk about that also with the fruit. But the one thing that I didn't talk about last week was what you need to choose, what list you need to choose your vegetables from. So when you look at the guide, it does say vegetables, any kind, right? And if you're reading that chart was written just to be a quick and simple, like at a glance. But if you actually read the LifeBook or Habits of Health, they both say the exact same thing. There are more details in how to choose that. And so I wanted to direct your attention to both the LifeBook and the Habits of Health to show you what I'm talking about and where it actually says this. So when it talks about transition, on page 278 in the LifeBook, it says week 1, add vegetables. Add any vegetable from the green section of the chart. So it's not saying any vegetable. If you read the fine print, so to speak, you should choose from the green section of the charts. And there's a lot of miscommunication out there. There are a lot of coaches and people who are saying, oh no, you can just have any vegetable. But if you read the LifeBook, if you read Habits of Health, and on Habits of Health, it's on page 329. And on page 329, it says the same thing, add any vegetable from the green section of the charts. So if you want to follow a good transition and you want to make sure that you are transitioning properly, make sure that you're following what it tells you and not just adding in all those starchy vegetables when you get to the first week of transition. The lists themselves are found in 2 different places. In Habits of Health on page 212 is more of the weight loss vegetables, but the green sections are great there. And then page 247 is a little more on the maintenance side. So that's in Habits of Health 212 and 247. LifeBook 224 and 293. The lists are practically identical, but you're avoiding those starchy vegetables. The only thing is page 247 in Habits of Health. In the green section, which is really more for maintenance, so really not quite for transition, but you could go by this list. In the green section, there are raw carrots, there are artichokes and Brussels sprouts. So those are a little bit different from the weight loss vegetables. That really is more for maintenance than it is as far as timing wise. If you're reading the progression through these 2 books, definitely stick to the green section of the vegetables. Before I get in and talk about transition week 2, let me invite you to please give this video a thumbs up if this is helpful to you, if it's helpful for you to see how to transition, if this is information that is beneficial, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would invite you to do that. I've got lots of information here, not only about the weight loss phase, but also about transition and maintenance. That's where I am now. I have lived what you are living. I was in the weight loss phase for 67 weeks. I had lost 153 pounds on the weight loss portion. And then through the transition process, I lost another 7 pounds for a total of 160 pounds. And I have been hanging out like right at that weight, a little bit more. I'll gain a pound or 2 and then drop a pound or 2, but I stay right around that weight. And have been since the end of September. It is now the end of February. So for 5 months, I have been able to maintain this weight loss, and I have no plans of gaining it back. I have every intention of continuing to follow this healthy eating and maintain this weight loss. So like this video, subscribe to my channel, share the videos if you want to, and please comment in the comments box down below. Let me know what types of information would be helpful to you on your weight loss or your maintenance journey. So let's talk about transition week 2. I'm going to get out my little visual aids because I know that's really helpful to people to see. And I used this last week. And what this represents is the 6 times that you are going to eat throughout the day. So when you were in weight loss, you ate 5 fuelings. So I've got 5 fuelings represented here. And you ate 1 lean and green meal. This is not a lean and green meal. By no means am I recommending you eat something out of a can. This actually even has beans in it, but this was just something that I could grab to easily fit in there to represent a lean and green meal, all right? So last week when you started transition, you are adding to this. So you're still eating 6 times a day, you're still eating 5 fuelings, you're still eating a lean and green, but you're adding to it a cup of vegetables. And my recommendation is to divide that into 2 half-cup servings and do, a half a cup here and maybe a half a cup here. Or somewhere during the day, add those half cups. I recommend dividing them. I tried doing the whole cup at one time and it was a lot it made me really full when I tried to do that. So dividing that actually worked really well. So this was week 1 of transition, 5 fuelings, 1 lean and green, an extra cup of vegetables somewhere in your day. All right, so that was easy. This week, we are going to take away a fueling. All right, so I'm going to take away the cereal because it's not my favorite. I know everybody else loves the cereal, but I'm going to take that one out. And, but I still need to eat 6 times a day. All right, still need to eat 6 times a day. So I'm going to move my veg down here. So in week 2, I am going to add either 1 cup of cut fruit or 2 medium pieces of fruit. So this week, because I took out a fueling, it's easiest for me just to do that as a replacement for the fueling that I took away. All right, so either here or here, wherever I want to put my fruit during the day, I'm just going to do 2 medium-sized pieces of fruit or a cup of fruit. Now, I will tell you kind of in advance that next week, when I add something next week, I'm going to actually divide this so that because I have another thing that I'm adding in, and but I'm not taking a fueling away. So I'll show you how that works next week. But for this week, for week 2, just go ahead and do the cup of fruit or 2 medium-sized pieces. So like just think volume-wise, is that piece of fruit going to equal about half of a cup? So that when you think medium, so like not a large apple, but a medium-sized apple. Medium to small is good to go for. And then let me talk to you about the actual fruits that you choose, because the guide does again give you some specific directions so the guide is very general, but the LifeBook and the Habits of Health are much more specific about what you can have. So on page 329, it does say, 1 cup. It doesn't give you like specific fruits to have. So we're going to look at some specific pages in both the LifeBook and Habits of Health that spell things out for you. So Habits of Health, page 329, under week 2, it says drop 1 prepackaged meal. So I showed you that. And then add any fruit from the green section of the charts. Fresh or frozen fruit is preferred, but canned can be used as long as it's not packed in syrup. You are now eating 4 fuelings, 1 lean and green meal, 1 additional cup of vegetables, and 2 medium-sized pieces of fruit or 1 cup of berries or chopped fruit. So you have the same thing in the LifeBook on page 278. It's the exact same wording is in the LifeBook on page 278. So 329 in Habits of Health, 278 in the LifeBook. So where are these lists that you need to go to? You're going to look in the LifeBook on page 248. I'm going to stick my card there so that I don't lose my place. And habits of health. Of course, my card fell out. 294. I had my pages swapped there. All right, so 248 in LifeBook, 294 habits of health. It's the exact same list, whichever one you look at, and you want to go for the green section. So let me read you what's in the green section. Olives, avocado. So you could add avocado to an afternoon fueling and consider that as part of your fruit. Limes, lemons, blackberries, raspberries, grapefruit, cherry, tomato. Those are the darkest green, the very low GI. Then the next level of green is apples, nectarines, peaches, pears, strawberries, oranges, apricots, plums, and figs. So we're looking at stone fruits, citrus fruits, and a few berries, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries. Those are the ones that are listed as the very low GI. The yellow ones are the next highest, and these are the ones that I would say avoid during transition, work them in once you get to maintenance, but those are the things like apricots, bananas. Bananas are very, very high in sugar and really not highly recommended at all. Blueberries, cantaloupe, kiwi, grapes, mango, melon, pineapple, and watermelon. So those I would save for maintenance. While you're in transition, stick to those citrus fruits and stone fruits, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries. Those are the best ones to have based on the chart that they have here. So week 2, easy peasy, 4 fuelings. You're still going to eat 6 times. You are still going to eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. No, nothing fancy, nothing crazy. I do also recommend that if you struggle to eat everything by adding that cup of vegetables in week 1, take an extra week at week 1. If you are diabetic, it's always recommended to do each week of fueling over the course of 2 weeks. There are some people who will spread it out even longer and just like really give your body time to adjust. If you were on 5 and 1 for a long time, it is suggested, not recommended, not a fact that you have to do, but it is suggested that some people might do better spreading that transition out over a long period of time. Now, I was on weight loss for 67 weeks. That is a very long time. I lost a lot of weight, but I did this 1 week at a time. But you know, it's worked for me, but it might not work for you. So definitely check your weight. This is a time where you, as you're adding things and you're making changes, you might want to check your weight a little more often than once a week, just to see how's my body reacting to this extra food that I'm putting into my body. Also, I want to share with you one other thing. I preach this quite a lot. The food that we put into our body has to be quality food. We cannot put in food that is not providing our body with significant amount of nutrients. Every single thing that we put into our bodies needs to be providing us with solid nutrition. Now, can you occasionally have things that are off plan when you're in maintenance? Yes, you can. Full disclosure, yesterday was my granddaughter's birthday, and I had a slice of cheese pizza, but I also had a gigantic salad along with it. And I did have a very small slice of birthday cake, very sweet. But I had that along with cucumbers and summer squash and a cheese stick. So I was having some protein. I really wanted to balance that out. Did not gain an ounce. And so you can occasionally do things that are off plan once you're in maintenance. But for now, stick to the plan. If you need to take, extra time to go through it, yes, but for now, really focus on the quality of the food. It is the processed foods that got you to where you were, where you needed to lose weight. Why go back to them? If you go back to those processed foods, you will go right back to the weight that you were on. Another thing that I say quite often is that weight loss is it's like a journey, right? Our life is a journey. And when we go through weight loss, we get into that weight loss vehicle and we go to a new house, we are changing where we live, how we live, and we move to a new place. And we want to stay in that place. We don't want to stay in the car. We want to get out of the car, get out of that weight loss phase. We want to live in our new house. We do not want to go back to where we used to live. And so we can't get in that car and drive backwards. We can't do things that we used to do at the old house. We're in a new place. We've got new stores to shop in. We've got new friends. We've got new kinds of everything in our new life. We want to make sure that we stay there and not go backwards. And by going back to those processed foods, to the fast food meals, to the quick and convenient, the weight will come back. And we don't want that. We work too hard to take the weight off. So live in your new house. Work through that transition process. Please leave me comments in the comments box down below if you've got questions, if you need to reach out for some additional support. I say all the time, I'm everybody's coach, and I don't want to be your coach. I just want to be your friend and help you through this process. So I don't take on clients anymore. I have some clients that I will continue to support, but I'm not taking new clients. I just want to be everybody's support system through this process. So please reach out to me if you need some support. I'm here for you. And until I see you next time, please live in the light.